Hey guys, how's it going? A little while ago, I got some white trainers. Okay, these weren't like Air Force Ones or something like that. They were like white fabric trainers. Okay, and they were like pure white, really bright white. And I wore them to London. Have a day trip. I can't remember exactly what I was doing. But I went and I was walking around London doing whatever I was doing. Kind of like, yeah, I feel fresh, like I feel good, like I'm wearing white trainers, as you do, or at least as I do if I've got some new shoes on. And I remember it got to kind of the end of the day, and I hadn't eaten anything, and I had to catch my train at Clapham, and I was like, oh, I've got to find something to eat, otherwise I'm going to get really hungry. It's going to take ages to get home. So there's a burger place, so I went and I got a really nice burger, and it's the kind of place where you can like pick what toppings and stuff you want. So I got one of them, and I was walking and eating, and I was having to walk quite quickly because I needed to catch my train, and I spilt like burger juice, like ketchup, mayo sort of stuff on my white shoes, which is like disaster, right? This is like literally the first time I've almost like ever worn them out, and here now they've just been spilt, and I can't stop and wipe them off right now because I've got to catch my train. So I was like, this is so awful. So I like ran, got on the train, and then I got like my water bottle or something, and I was trying to like wash off this stain, and because it's fabric, right? It wasn't like leather or anything; it was fabric. The stain just like stuck. And this is after me trying to clean it off. This is what it looked like on the train. Now for me, this is like disaster, you know. And I remember taking them home, and they went into the washing machine, and they were washed. Mark's still there. The stain remains. Bad news. And I remember thinking like, if only I hadn't had the burger, you know, like, and if only the juice hadn't dripped in it or whatever. And actually, to this day, like the stain remains. Like you can still see it. Now. We're in a series talking about why did Jesus have to die on the cross? What is it about the sin that requires Jesus dying on the cross for it? And the metaphor for sin being like a stain is really common. You find it all over the place in the Bible. This idea that the things that we've done have stained us, have marked us. Have left us with dirt on us or a stain on us or a mark on us, or even the things that we do to other people leaves marks and stains on them. You know, we've been talking about shoes, which is, you know, a funny example, but this is where almost the metaphor kind of doesn't work, because the Bible says that everything that I have done, everything I've thought, and everything that I've said has in some way been affected by the stain and has contributed to it. I'm not, you know, perfect, spotless or whatever, you know, clean, fresh white shoes. No, I'm stained. And my entire life, I've become progressively more stained. And I affect the people around me as well when they become more stained. We're all in this together. We all got this problem. Now, if that's who I am and that's how I, you know, I'm at, then the Bible describes God as being perfect, pure, spotless, stainless, clean. And it says that almost like the way that the strongest fairy liquid would react to a stain, you know, just destroy it. That's what it is like with my relationship with God as it stands. If I stand in the presence of God, I die. I'm just dead. That's why sometimes in the Bible you find people, you know, interacting with the Ark of the Covenant or something like that, and they're just like dead. Because my life has been stained. And God's purity and cleanness and holiness, that's the kind of term for it. His holiness means that I die. Oh, it sounds a bit intense, but the reality is, like, even the very best things that we've done, you know, I helped that person, that was great, or I said that and that was great. No, the Bible says that even those things are like filthy rags before God. We're thoroughly and completely stained. And for the only way for this to be worked out, you know, I can try and wash, it doesn't come out. The only way for this to be solved is for God to do something for me, to help me in this situation. And so it says that he sent him who had no sin to become sin in order that we might become the righteousness of God. It's kind of a weighty phrase, but essentially what it's saying is God, who's perfect, becomes a human being in order that he might be able to take on all of the sin and all of the stain himself, so that we might be able to receive the perfectness and the cleanness and the righteousness of God. Imagine my shoes are stained, Jesus is there next to me with non-stained shoes, and he takes my shoes and puts them on, and he suffers the consequences of having the stain, which is kind of intense when you put it like that, but he dies, and then I get to receive the clean shoes that he has, that make me perfect, spotless righteousness, and I can have a relationship with God. The things that I've done, the things that you've done, have stained. They've left a mark. The only way of removing it is to let Jesus take them from you and die on the cross for them, in order to give you the cleanness, the righteousness, and the purity. And what that means is that my relationship with God is restored. I can now interact with him, I can now seek him, and then one day I'll be able to stand in his presence, and I won't be obliterated, you know? But you have to choose to accept it. You have to say, yeah, I recognise I've done wrong, and I want to let you, Jesus, deal with it for me. It has to be acknowledged, you have to believe it, you have to choose to accept it, and you have to let him do it for you. And so I want to just chuck out the question to you: what do you think about this idea that the things that we've been done wrong are like a stain? And the second question: have you let him take them from you and die for them in order that you might receive the cleanness and the spotlessness, etc.? Have you done that? And if you haven't, why not? No pressure, just to be good to chat. So that's it, and I hope you have a good week. See you around.